gentlemen, everyone around and in between. It is DebateSensei CEDA edition. We talk about things that are relevant to competitive debate for the Cross-Examination Debate Association. I have with me the Director of Debate for California State University, Long Beach, Devin Cooper. Thank you so much, Devin, for being with me.
You're welcome. Hello.
Excellent. I'm Jerry Kubika Miller. I am a debate coach. Right now, I'm coming to you from Concord, California. I am at the California Community Colleges State Championship Tournament. So a little bit of a different background. But we're not here to talk about community colleges. We're here to talk about Long Beach's showing at the most recent American Debate Association tournament. And rather than burying the lead, let's just start right off. You guys took this in stellar fashion.
You tried.
Yeah, well, you did. You did, right? So Long Beach State won ADA, as a lot of people refer to it, and didn't drop a ballot for the entire tournament. Yes. And it was a little unexpected, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of predicted we would probably get to semis.
Okay.
But, you know, we thought that the old guard would probably come down on us, but guess not.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's start with the big picture then. What is it about this tournament that, I don't know, it wasn't in your plans to go in the first place. So why is it different than the other national tournaments?
Well, so it is a national tournament that really fosters the need and the promotion of reading plans and doing very traditional straight up policy debate. It is mostly like geared towards trying to incentivize novice participation.
Okay.
At that rate, but also when we get up to the highest levels, it's kind of seen as one that is more of a policy focused tournament, like straight up traditional policy debate.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went there and we didn't really change anything that we did, except for we did have a new AF in the finals.
In the finals. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of the stuff that we did increase is our case debate work, which is like engaging with the affirmative case instead of just doing a K and just like focusing all in there. We wanted to have interaction with case more because that is something that a lot of the judges there would appreciate.
Okay. You said this is trying to foster novice inclusion. I'm looking at the entry and there was like 10 novice entries there. It's not the biggest tournament. There's like significantly bigger tournaments that you've been to, a lot more competitive ones. Is this typical for ADA to have?
No, I mean, usually I think it's like an off year ish.
Oh, okay.
Right, but people are just kind of building those programs back because like novice debate is, you know, dwindling a little bit, but the ADA is really much so trying to foster like, you know, learning opportunities, novice debate opportunities, right? And so that becomes a thing. And I think also a lot of people, the way that is politically received is that CEDA is more for the K people.
Okay.
And NDT is harder line on a mixture of those things, but more favoring policy. Okay. But this tournament usually is mostly policy.
Okay. And so I'm looking at these brackets. We had about 50, a little over 50 entries total, right? And it's a 6-round prelim, right? 6-round prelim. Okay. So so is it just a shorter tournament overall?
Yeah, like ish. But it's like very like time effective in the way that they're doing stuff, like because the other two national tournaments are like pretty long.
And marathons, right?
Yeah, they're 8 rounds.
Yeah, 8 rounds. Do they do it the same number of days and they just kind of compress them? Oh no.
No, the ADA doesn't, but CEDA and NDT does. The NDT is like 3 rounds a day.
Okay. And did you joined remotely?
Yes.
Okay, is that becoming pretty common, or were you an outlier?
It's like mostly the nationals in some regard try to really make the ability of people who maybe can't afford to go
Okay.
or have other like prior obligations that are like important that they have to go to. So, you know, for us, we are pretty much gonna be maxed out in a sense after we go to CEDA and the NDT.
Mhm.
Because my team also went to Ireland, so they went to IFA. Right. So it's just like money getting pulled from all over the place. So it's like we couldn't just like pick up and go to Indiana
Okay.
right before CETA and NDT. So we just went.
IFA, the International Forensics Association, they have
Mhm.
policy events. No?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
not that. I mean, if they do, we didn't hear
No,
about it. But
I did. So, but you went. Your team went. When did you guys?
yeah, the speech and IPDA and
Oh,
parody
oh,
folks. Yeah.
I understand. I understand because it all pulls from the same budget. Okay, I
Hmm.
thought you were talking about your debaters, but no, no.
No. Well, yeah, like the debaters that do parley and IPDA. Yeah.
Right. But not your seated debaters. All right. Do you think that there's any sort of disadvantage by competing remotely at all?
For us, yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Because it was in Indiana, so we had to get up 3 hours before.
Oh,
Yeah. I
oh,
mean, like it was a 3 hour time difference, so like we were debating at like 6 in the morning.
oh wow, wow! I didn't even think about that.
Hmm.
That is pretty spectacular. Okay, all right. So you had a few, a little bit more than 50 teams there. Are there some teams that just are like, nah, we're not going to ADA? I mean, you were a one
Well,
team until,
mostly the K teams.
yeah, most of the K teams. Who would those
But
be?
they're well, you know, I don't, you know, some I don't want to be calling name dropping, you know,
Okay.
but like there are K teams that have definitely decided not to go. You can look at the entries for CETA versus the entries for ADA, and
Okay.
you can see difference.
Okay.
Things. Yeah.
Um, but you said that you didn't change anything as far as your strategy.
No. I mean,
No?
we just well, we the strategy going in was to engage case debate
Got it.
much more. And this is like, you know, in some ways it's just kind of interesting because we had more updated case cards than
Okay.
teams that like were actually straight up
Really?
traditional folks. Yeah. Because
Huh.
there's like, you know, some people take for granted and think that, oh, because you're a K team, we're not doing like actual in-depth research about your stuff.
Right.
And so, you know, one of the debates, one of the judges was like, wow, y'all are debating the status of like the nuclear hostilities between like North Korea and the United States better than the AF. So it's
Mm,
like, because we have cards from 2024, not
yeah.
from
Okay.
2020 or 2021.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So on the affirmative, though,
No,
did
when
you
we're negative. Oh,
no
sorry. On the affirmative, we did straight up. Like that's
straight
stuff
up?
that we do. Stuff
Okay.
that we always do.
The stuff is so you still doing critical affirmatives?
Hmm.
Really? And so that was received, huh?
Yeah. Well, also I know how to pref judges really well.
Oh, okay. So
So
got it.
those judges, they're not really receptive to us. We didn't get a single one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
The
made sure I put them all low.
man, that is an art form that I am just not familiar with, right? 'Cause we
Well, I
do,
mean, it's all a numbers game. You have to think about where certain teams would place certain people by looking at their judging record and who they've judged.
yeah.
And so anybody who's like had countless of judging against a straight up team and they don't really judge any K teams, I'm putting them really low.
We don't have any equivalent of that. I'll walk that back a little bit because I'm not sure how judging pref works for some Parley national tournaments.
Well,
But
the problem is you don't really have them.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of the issue.
yeah. Okay.
Also, especially in IPDA, that's yeah.
Yeah. So IPDA actually has like a rule that the judges will come from anywhere, right?
Hmm.
Even people with zero
Yep.
experience. And so,
Problematic.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Problematic.
Okay. We gotta. I don't know. People even talk about some IPDA national tournaments, and I am unfamiliar with them because I just
Yeah,
know
they
it's
have their version of the NDT.
okay.
They have their what is it? IPDA Nats. Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually sometimes in a very southern place.
Oh.
Yeah, because IPDA is like very southern based type of debating. Um, but I went there once, and we had a student that got to the out rounds, and they pretty much judged F her, and I was just like, nah, we're good. I'm
Oh.
not coming back to this because I'm just like, it's just like I prep my student for the topic, and it seems like if y'all have an adverse like reaction to policy topics, why even put them in the scratch off list?
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
that's what it seems like. It's like you debate a policy topic, people are not really trying to engage the real structure of what it means, because policy debate didn't just like erupt from a certain place. Those three, propositions: proposition of fact, value, and policy.
Right.
And that proposition of policy is always based in saying something about the status quo is bad. You produce a plan, you talk about the impacts, you talk about solvency,
Yeah.
right? And then some of those judges don't know that. And it's just like, I'm sorry, that's like what the structure is.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. The aversion to anything that sounds like jargon too seems to be applied.
But the thing is, that stuff is jargon. They talk about weighing mechanisms, net benefits, all that good stuff. Why are we talking about weighing mechanism and framing if there's no jargon that we need to discuss here?
Yeah. Yeah. The like when and where it is applied seems fairly arbitrary, right? And if you're not allowed to use literature from the field of argumentation theory, I don't know what we're doing. Right? Like, what is this activity if we can't draw from those words? If people study it and they come up with concepts and they define these concepts and use specialized terminology for it, it seems like anyone who comes across that and utilizes it in the debate should be rewarded, not punished. I don't know, but I guess we're just preaching to the choir right now, right?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, you should probably do like one of these for IPDA.
Yeah, I mean, we have a limited prep one. It's not really because I'm unfamiliar with the sort of national structure of it. Like NFALD, NPDA, and CEDA NDT all have sort of institutional structures. IPDA, if there is one, I'm kind of unfamiliar with it. I got to look into it a little bit more. So, anyways. This tournament, though, let's talk about your success. All right, so let's get into it. We broke to partial doubles. Partial doubles. Was there anyone? I don't know. Any outliers? You're like, oh, hey, I didn't expect them to break or anything.
No, I mean, because this tournament is usually very unpredictable in some ways, like hence us winning. But like, I think. So this is a little background.
Okay.
In my freshman year, when I was at University of Louisville, I got to the semifinals of ADA.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, it was even less judges that will be susceptible to the arguments that we were making.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so that's why I had like, kind of like a pause even bringing them here, because I remember when I was in that semifinal round, we dusted the brakes off of this team.
Oh,
it was like a 2-1 for them. And I didn't know all about this first round bid or these like top ranked team stuff back then. But the team we went against was a team from Emory, Mike Greenstein and Vicky Palomo. And so they were their first round bid team at that point. And like, they were trying to engage with our style and like do like alternative stuff. And I was just like, went off, like, and I had arguments and I had stuff to say. I was like, because I'm from policy debate, like Louisville was doing an alternative style, of course, but I still implemented and used the traditional stuff to attack them. Right. And so, one of the judges really understood the strategy, but the other two was just like, nah, this is Emory.
I see what you're saying, that there's, yeah, it's a little bit of theater coming in, and the
and also like, I think one of them was a senior, and I was a freshman, and my partner was a junior. So
okay, they don't want to end their career on a loss like that. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah. Okay. So do you think ADA has changed a bit since?
Quite some, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that there is a chance for people, but they have to be like real good. If you're like a K
Okay.
team, you can't just be like some run of the mill, like I'm a mid range K debater, that type of thing.
Mhm.
But like if you are really good at your craft, you can explain stuff, you can really make inroads into traditional stuff, then you should be good.
So what'd y'all run on your affirmative, on most affirmatives, not necessarily all?
So at this tournament, we mostly did Afrofuturism.
Afrofuturism on the affirmative.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, but we were still talking about like a concept within the topic and saying we should disarm the civil defense logics of,
Okay.
you know, the
Okay.
nuclear industrial
Right, right,
project.
right.
And so it's not like we were just saying Afrofuturism just like vacuous. We were just saying like, hey, through an Afrofuturist lens, we need to deconstruct and disarm this concept of civil defense. And
Yeah.
so
Somebody referred to that in some other conversation. I love the concept, which is topic adjacent. I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, I think that's, and I love topic adjacent. I love it.
we were as one of my friends and persons I look up to the most, Jaleesa Hampton, she was like, we're topical. Topical.
Oh my God. Yeah, a little accent on the A
Yeah.
like that. I love it. Okay, that's great. So Afrofuturism, we break to doubles. You know what? I wanted to really quick. I was looking at some of the other divisions, and I noticed something like George Mason has, had a lot break in novice. Are they kind of like a novice squad? Would you say?
So one of the coaches there, Jackie, she's very much so a champion of
Mm,
novice participation. So
good.
of course they probably have a lot of novices.
Yeah.
And I really like her mission in debate and like how she like really brings that to light. So
Okay, cool. And I noticed in JV, Liberty is like,
yeah.
what's up with
L-
Liberty?
Liberty usually has a lot of novices, oftentimes too, but
Yeah.
eventually matriculate up to JV, and they've had like a lot of success with like building people up from novice to getting them to varsity
Okay.
contention.
Okay. But let's go with the big group here, the open group here. Who do we have as big breaks? We got Kansas is a pretty good showing.
Yeah, there was like several first round bid teams here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how many? Kansas broke 4 teams. Holy crap!
They're a big program.
Oh my God! Right. And like their city college also, I mean, I think it's just like this farm system where the Kansas City College brings and just mops the floor in policy at our community college national tournament.
Oh yeah, because they used to be policy.
Yeah, yeah. Every year they just clean up. It's just the Kansas City College.
KCKCC.
Yeah, CKCC. All right. Northwestern is always a pretty heavy hitter, but I'm only seeing one. I usually see a bunch of Northwestern break in. Huh.
Well, I don't know how many they brought, but like I'm pretty sure Northwestern is focusing on the NDT at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe they only brought that one that broke. What do we got? We also have. I'm only seeing one from Emory. Maybe the same story that they're not bringing their whole. No, I see 2. No, 3. Okay. Oh no. Maybe the full squad is there. All right.
No, not all of them. They didn't bring Grace. They didn't
Oh,
bring Grace and Shreyas, their top team.
their top team is felt like sitting it out. Okay.
Yeah, they're gearing up for NDT, I'm sure.
Are there any people? Are there any squads that come to 88 but don't go to other national tournaments, CEDA or NDT? That's their nationals.
Well,
okay.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
There are people there level that like you can look at the CEDA entries, you can see a lot of difference.
Okay. All right.
I mean, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but like
if it's their nationals,
we don't usually see Michigan State at CEDA.
Oh, okay.
You don't usually see University of Michigan at CEDA.
Michigan. I see Michigan State. I see they broke 1, 2. Okay. I see a couple Michigan States, but it looks like they didn't make it past octos. Okay. And pretty much a straight up policy team squad. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Very much so.
Not too many upsets in that first double aux.
I don't think there were really any upsets.
Yeah, I didn't. I was trying to see if there was any of them. It looked like throughout.
Well, actually, that's not true. That's not true. I think there was an upset.
Oh, in the
not in that one, but
not in that one, but a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have we talked about Minnesota before? I don't remember seeing Minnesota. Are they one of the?
Yeah, I mean, I have not really. I don't think we debated them much this year at all. But we had a debate against them in the elimination rounds. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that first elim, not too many upsets. We had.
Oh, sorry. Wait. I think I could be wrong. Who did Minnesota beat?
Minnesota beat Wayne State, another name I don't remember talking about this season.
So Wayne State is a K team.
Oh, they are?
Yes. The team that team that's there. Yes, they're really close friends with Curtis and Diego. It's Urshad and his partner.
Okay. I don't remember talking about Wayne State before. Maybe I'm just blanking on it though. Were they how they've been doing this year?
They've been doing good.
Okay.
They've been good. Like, I like that team. I judge them. They're really nice. They're really kind people. And they're like doing critical debate stuff too. And their coach is amazing, Sydney Pasquinelli and Darcel Brown. They're pretty awesome people.
All right. So we get into the octafinals. We got 3 Kentucky teams. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Kentucky.
One of them is the first round bid team from Kentucky.
Okay. A couple of the Kansas teams, but hell, both Kansas teams got out into quarters. But so we do have this one Georgetown matchup. It looks like one of them walked over the other.
Yeah.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Was it their A team still?
No, their A team didn't come.
Oh, they're okay.
I wish they would have though.
Ah,
that would have been like more more clash and more competition in the brackets.
Okay.
Because it made things a little harder.
Okay. So it looks like what we got Minnesota, Michigan State. They're dropping off in the octos. In quarters, we got Long Beach there. Who's McAllister? I don't remember that.
McAllister is pretty good school. They are coached by a former USC debater, Bo Larson. So they got a really good setup for coaching staff. So like I think that program is coming back into steam now. I think they're doing pretty good this year.
Okay, nice.
They're pretty good team. Like we went against them in octos, and they gave us a little bit of a run.
Quarters.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, quarters. Yeah. Sorry, quarters. Yes, they gave us a little bit of a run for our money. Okay. What I will say is, I think they were an upset.
They were. Let's take a look here.
Against Northwestern.
They were 9th seed.
But I'm just saying, like the caliber of the perception of the team.
Right. And versus against Northwestern, right? Because Northwestern is pretty heavy hitters. So they were that must have been a pretty satisfying victory for them in the octafinals over Northwestern.
Yeah, because there was some predictions that Northwestern was going to win that debate.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I never make those predictions because I think that people can catch people on a good day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So in that, do you know anything about that debate in quarters?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, what ours?
Yeah, you and McAllister. Yeah.
Long Beach. Yeah. They read like several off case positions against us, and they read framework, and they went for this minimum deterrence argument that we should do minimum deterrence, and it was a kind of a counter advocacy and internal net benefit with The problem is they were using Claudia Jones, which is a former, Communist Party member, Black woman. And, we made arguments about, they should not be able to represent her words and steal her labor and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
But then we also impact deterrence theory too. So that's the thing.
It really seems like knowing the authors, like not just one publication or an excerpt, but just knowing them inside and out is really important if you want to get into the highest levels.
Yeah, it is important, because the other thing too, the reason why that was an upset against Northwestern and them, because Northwestern's a first round team.
Oh, they are. That was one of their first round. Okay.
They're one of the top 16. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, so that's why it's an upset.
Congratulations, McAllister. But then they hit you. Yeah.
Yeah,
that must. I mean, getting two. I mean, they're hitting the. Who are they hitting first? They're hitting Wake Forest first, which.
Yeah, that's not a first round.
That wasn't their first round. But then the next two were just these heavy hitting first round, and y'all were one of them. All right. In quarters, we had 2 Kentucky teams, 2 Kansas teams, and McAllister, Georgetown, Texas.
So Georgetown ZZ was an upset.
They were.
Yeah, because Kansas MP.
Oh, I see.
Kansas MP is a first round.
Yeah, and Georgetown ZZ is not, huh?
No, they are not.
Wow, that is congratulations to them. That's not, especially after walking over, because it really sucks when you walk over a team and then you lose the next round. I don't know why that just feels so much worse. It feels like, you guys gave us a boost and then we squandered it. You know what I mean? But so it's nice to kind of carry that on.
But I mean, Georgetown kind of like in the same place as McAllister. They were hitting like first round after first round.
Oh yeah. Oh, so Kansas and there are other Georgetown
Kansas
teams.
RS is a first round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Kansas RS were beat by Texas. Never mind. But Kansas MP is a first round, and then Georgetown moved on to face Texas DK, which is a first round team.
There's 2. Oh no, there's a Kansas RS and a Kentucky RS. I was getting that mixed up. I was like, I wasn't reading.
Well, no. There's a Kansas RS too. Oh wait, sorry. Never mind. Yeah, there's a Kansas RS and a Kentucky RS.
Yeah, so I got a little mixed up because I saw the 2 K states with RS with acronyms, and I was mixing them up in my head. So
yeah, but Kansas MP and Kansas RS are both first round teams.
Oh, really? Both of them? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You get into that quarters bracket. That's mostly like first round bid teams right there.
Okay. Heavy. So we get into semis. We got Long Beach versus Kentucky DG. Is that a first round you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. You know what happened in that round?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a good round. No, it was a good round. They're friends. So I think what side were we in the debate?
It doesn't say in the brackets.
I think we were negative.
Okay.
Yeah, we were negative. Wait, no. Semis, neg versus Kentucky. Yeah. We were negative. So that was the round they were reading no first use. And we just like, did our regular, impact turn the hedge, all that stuff. You're rooted in like a bad form of IR theory, stuff like that. So yeah, that was kind of what the debate was.
Okay. And the other round was Georgetown ZZ versus Texas DK. Now Texas is they're heavy, right? I mean they're the number 2 seed. They're a first round. Yeah, and so any idea of what went down in that round?
I don't. I know it was a 2-1 though. So
2-1. All right. Well,
Texas won, but Georgetown ZZ got a ballot off of them. I don't know what happened, but
it's always it is a consolation. Like people who aren't in debate might not know it, but if you go down on a 2-1, you're like, if that were a prelim.
I mean, they got a ballot off of a top first round team. So That's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, those things are small victories. They really are. And they shouldn't be overlooked. So good job to them. But let me know what happened in this final round. It is Long Beach versus Texas.
Well, we were AF,
Okay.
and they read framework.
And they read framework, and that's pretty much how it went down. We've heard a lot of stories like that throughout this season. People are just, I don't know, they don't know how to handle it. And you said you had a different AF. Now,
oh yes, we read a new AF in that round.
Okay.
We sure did. We sure did.
Is that going to be the only time you run this AF?
No, we might read it. We might read it as CEDA and NDT. It's depending on what the round is.
Okay. Now that it's out, you mind give me a little bit of a taste of what you said?
So this was an AF where we were criticizing the idea of what an emergency is, especially like crisis stability or nuclear war, nuclear extinction. And we were saying that we should engage in more of an emergency poetics that is steeped in looking at the daily life ongoing emergencies that are overlooked and overshadowed by things like nuclear threats in the debate activity. And so we were saying emergency poetics is more of a better lens to look at crisis as opposed to like the IR version of like using nuclear war to just trump everything.
Okay. I mean, I can see why they're going for framework. I mean, like they probably don't have poetics, neg stuff.
Oh, they do. They do. They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Somebody else broken like a version of this?
No, but the thing is that team particularly is situationally a K team. So they have stuff that could say possibly poetics bad or affect bad or things of that nature. But oftentimes people think that it's more advantageous to read framework.
Oh, and maybe at ADA, they might have been playing those numbers too, huh?
I mean, a lot of people want to try to play those numbers, but at the end of the day, you're not dealing with a team that's just reading their coach's blocks. And you're not dealing with a team that doesn't know what is going on. Okay. And so for me, that's why I always say, like, I'm not going to block my students out. I'm not going to write all their arguments for them. I will give them suggestions about arguments and things to do, but I'm not going to do all that work for them because it makes it so they just become robots, just spouting out blocks. And I don't think that's an effective pedagogy to approach debate with. But other teams may do that, and they think that that is a successful route to go. More power to them, because at the end of the day, I think it cheapens the experience of policy debate, and it cheapens the ability for those people to go out and be coaches or to coach, students that are younger than them. Because what they're doing is they're not really feeding them a model of debate that is productive for them to have transferable skills. They're teaching them how to regurgitate things. As Paulo Freire talked about, the banking model of education is terrible and it has bad outcomes. And so that's what's really happening in debate right now, is that these coaches are manipulating and manifesting arguments and full out speeches for their students and saying, here, go, read. And that's what's happening. Okay. And they just want to get that win.
Yeah. The banking model, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So pardon my naivete, but I'm wondering if this affects Copeland awards at all. Does this? No. Okay. All right. Well, anyways.
I wish. I wish.
Oh well.
That ranking's already been done.
Okay. Well, hey, congratulations on your showing at this tournament. I know it was unexpected, but still well deserved. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens at CEDA and NDT in the future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Devin.